Welcome back to AWS Security Live. We are a special edition, live from AWS Reinforce here in, I was going to say sunny Philadelphia, but it isn't sunny.
It's warm, if that counts.
It is. I've brought the rain from the UK. My name's Rob Hale. I lead AWS's security partner business in EMEA, so I glue together all different areas of our partner community around security to solve for customer challenges. As ever, I am joined by my awesome colleague.
Hello, everybody. The name's Ryan Orsi. I run a team of partner specialists here at AWS, known as the Cloud Foundational Services Partner Team. We look after security and identity and cloud operations and resilience, and we get to have fun all around the world working with AWS partners like Rackspace.
Yeah.
Itari, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Good to have you on.
Thanks for having me.
Would you mind, I know you, Rob knows you. I don't know if they all know you. Would you mind introducing yourself to our lovely audience?
Oh, definitely. My name's Itari. I am the Global Security Services Lead, Professional Services and Elastic Engineer for Rackspace. I've been there for about 18, almost 19 years, and things have been good. We help with security advisory, architecture, engineering, and we help support our security operations teams.
Oh, awesome. And Itari, I've been asking guests this too because our careers into security have been like a pinball game. Did you have just a straight shot right out of high school, cybersecurity all the way?
No. I've been everywhere, right? I started off as a software developer, and then I did solution architecture, enterprise architecture. I did pre-sales, advisory. I was in the CTO office. So I've been all over the place. Where I really had a lot of impact with involvement with security was during the application phase. I did a lot of DevSecOps. We incorporated a lot of security tools in our pipelines. So yeah, but now I'm, full-blown security because there's a lot of bad guys out there.
And never been more happy. Oh, also speaking of happiness, the swear jar, the acronym swear jar will be very happy if you feed it. I heard DevSecOps. I got beat up by the audience one time.
We could do so.
If we say an acronym, we like to spell it out. And if we don't spell it out within a reasonable amount of time that my European friend here decides randomly, then we feed a coin.
Funny enough, that's not an acronym. DevSecOps is not. That's what it is.
I'm with you.
There are two sides to this one, folks. I'm pretty sure.
So is there a reverse swear jar where I actually get actual cash?
We actually called that. We can't take them out of there. I have no idea how this gets.
Yeah, this is our real imitation gold coins.
The ceremonies we smash that at the end of the show. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
This is a non-violent show. So, Itari, walk us through, we've been having some guests on today. Specifically, we're talking about, it can be kind of difficult to stay up to speed with everything happening from what you have to defend against, what kind of security tools you should leverage in your team, what kind of people you should have in your team. Where does Rackspace fit into that equation to help kind of pull some of that burden off of folks?
Okay, yeah, we host a lot of security services, like I mentioned, from the advisory, architecture, engineering, and security operations. Security operations is very important, and that's where we're kind of investing a lot in. So we do a lot of things for incident response. We help detect any issues or any threats. We help remediate it, and then we help actually resolve it. And one of the things that we're doing, it's actually kind of interesting, like AI is the theme here.
Right.
And that was some of the things that we were actually already experimenting with. A lot of the tools that we use from a detection point of view, they already have AI capabilities and machine learning to detect issues. And it's very important, right, because threat actors are constantly evolving, right? So you need to be able to evolve at the same pace as them. We do a lot of things. We're incorporating a lot of AI in terms of our security operations, and we're starting to see some of the benefits from that a lot.
You mentioned AI and ML there, and actually what a lot of people outside of security don't realize is quite how long the security industry has been using ML tools.
Exactly.
And
ML?
Machine learning.
Does that count?
Yeah.
It does. Does that count? Maybe AI somehow become...
No, okay. ML.
Okay, sorry.
Maybe not. I'll take that. So give us some examples around, how are you now using the AI tools for security operations?
For security operations. So the first one obviously is for detection. We're using machine learning, right?
Okay.
For triaging, we're using generative AI for that, right? So being able to look at a bunch of incidents and figure out, okay, which one should we prioritize? Because there's a lot of things that you need to take into account to prioritize those issues. You need to take into account things like the business impact. You need to take into account the things like SLAs. So being able to gather all that information and help prioritize and help our security analysts figure out what to work on.
Business impact, like this particular application has the crown jewels, financial data, employee records, things like that.
Because you could have 5 P1 events, 5 high security risk events, but which one do you start first? Right. So using AI there has kind of helped out a lot. Another thing is in terms of researching. So being able for our security analysts to actually get all this information, right? We can actually get information from about threat actors. We can get information about what's going on. I mean, it just makes their job a lot faster and also more accurate too.
Yeah. So it's generative AI tools to add more data, enrich that data, and provide context.
Exactly. Yep. And then one last thing we're doing, and this is still we're testing this, is we're using agentic AI for actual remediations of some of these tools.
Tell us more. This is super interesting to me too. It's all right.
That's a super buzzword as well, right?
So think of it as you're creating an AI agent, a person, right? But they can go in and do tasks by themselves without direct involvement, right? So for remediation, we're playing for incidents that are not so serious. It's like, okay, you can go ahead, and if you find out that this is an issue, you can block a port, right? But it's very hard to figure out how much leeway you give these agents, what they can and cannot do.
Can they block that port automatically based off of certain kind of criticality criteria in your detection?
Yes, they can do that. And one of the things that we kind of realized in doing that is that if a human makes a mistake, right, there's kind of like, okay, you're a human, you're not perfect, you made a mistake. But when a machine makes a mistake, it's kind of like, oh my God, it's the end of the world. Exactly. And one of the things that we're trying to let people know is that AI is different from other deterministic systems, like a calculator. If you have a calculator, 1 + 1 is always going to be 2. Yeah. But AI is always changing based on the context and everything else. So there's a little bit of that education that we're trying to learn and teach folks as well. But it's reaping a lot of rewards for us.
And that's one of the key things that customers often ask is, what tool do I use for what? Where do I use a non-deterministic tool like generative AI, for example, or small language model or large language model, and where do I use something like an ML model or something like that that's more deterministic.
Tool rationalization.
Automated reasoning, for example, is a really, really good example of deterministic, like AWS Access Analyzer, for example. That's the actual way that a policy works.
Exactly. It depends on the level of risk. I mean, I'm not going to fly in a plane that has an agentic AI pilot. Like, I'm just not going to do that, right? No matter the track record, So
I knew I liked this guy.
So it just depends, right? It just depends.
But you mentioned earlier as well, automated actions, and when we talk to customers, there are some customers who are experimenting with automated actions, but there's fewer customers who are saying, we have a completely automated response. So how do you use a tool like an agentic AI tool for an incident response? How would you use that with humans to make sure they're making the right decisions?
Do you still keep a human to
in the loop?
Press enter
always
if you agree? Press enter if you agree to this. Kind of step through, or do you just let it go?
No. Right now we're in the phase where it's still experimental, so we always have a human that's supervising. Right now, for things that are low priority, right, a human gets notified. I took this decision, and the human can either verify it, or they could say, you know what, no, this is not good. They can revert it, right? So that's where we're at right now. We're still trying to play a little bit more.
So supervised learning, and then could that adapt the model for the next incident?
Exactly. Okay, it's a series of iterations, and
now, how do people get your help at Rackspace? I mean, what you do sounds pretty cool for a job, but how does someone get your help? Does Rackspace Security sit alongside their own internal security? Is it outsourced? Is it a managed service? Can your team come in for a project to get them kind of leveled up on their security? All right.
All of the above.
I'm checking all the boxes for you.
So Rackspace is a managed services cloud provider, and security is one of the services that we provide in a managed services capacity, professional services capacity. We can even come on site, and I mean, we do the whole gamut. Our focus is on solving problems for customers.
And the way I like to say it about you folks is, your customers, our customers, mutual customers, they need to go make plates and spoons, to quote the famous Brian Mendenhall. They maybe don't need to go do what Itari's team does, right, on the day-to-day basis, right? So we love to hear that. We love to support your offering.
I was wondering where you were going with the plates
and the spoons is a famous Brian Mendenhall quote.
Okay,
maybe food or something.
I lined it. Yeah,
I thought food will end up on the plate. No,
he's always hungry. It's a very hungry man.
So that's an interesting piece, actually. So, we often think around enterprise when we're talking about security, but actually, if you look at the other end of the scale in terms of SMB, you might not have a security team, you might not have a security person. So, what type of customers do Rackspace help? And is there a difference between helping a really large enterprise versus a big market with SMB?
There is a difference.
Oh, that's very interesting.
In fact, for SMB customers, I don't think they value security as much because of the cost. So to them, it's more like insurance, and they feel just do the best practices, and we don't want to spend money. So we have a lot of challenges with SMB customers in terms of showing them that, but for mid-market and for enterprise, they see the value quite a bit. So with SMB customers, we focus more on best practices with security.
Sure.
Also customers who don't have their own internal security team. So we do have, as part of our services, Elastic Engineering for Security. So it's kind of like it's outsourcing security resources.
I love the name.
So that's popular with the SMB customers.
Oh, I love that.
They're more stingy. They're more cautious about money.
I see a teachable moment or more education at Tooth, right? For these small and medium businesses. Folks, we didn't catch ourselves. Does that count, SMB?
Did we
Small,
say
medium,
SMB?
we said
SMB.
We said it.
Okay,
I'll let you do the honors, sir.
I might have started that. I'm not entirely sure. But actually, when we talk to smaller customers, they don't have the big budgets. They don't have the masses of tools and the people. So a lot of the time they expect those services or want those services to be included.
Yes.
So that's why you see more of the smaller customers taking managed services, for example, from a managed service provider, an MSP, or security is just another stage further. Well, you guys, are you providing managed services as well as security services?
Can I hand you my cloud and you take care of it?
Yeah, that's what we do. So we're primarily a managed services company, right? But we do also have professional services that complement the managed services. Again, our focus is we are a solution provider. That's the focus of Rackspace, and we provide all sorts of services with security being part of it.
Awesome. So, what do you see next on the security horizon? What are you working on? What do you see as the an area where customers can make a big security impact?
So besides AI, we're seeing a lot of zero trust. People going into zero trust, right? Because in the past, is VPN an acronym?
Yes.
Okay.
100%.
Okay. Virtual private network.
Did
right?
it time out?
No, we call that.
Okay.
If you're on Twitch,
was the ball on the line?
If you're on Twitch, if you're on YouTube, if you're on LinkedIn, send us a message. We are live. We appreciate the love. So yeah, or ask questions.
We love Itari with your toughest question.
Okay. All right, cool.
You can take it.
So I mean, traditionally, in order to provide security, right, the VPN was the security. So you had a secure perimeter. But once you were inside, there was really no control.
It was a party in there.
Exactly.
Whatever you want to do.
Think about it, yeah. But now, especially with the advent of cloud, right, you have applications within your data center, you have applications in the cloud in other people's data center, and it's this kind of mix and mash. So the whole point of zero trust is that you don't trust anybody by default. Everybody needs to be able to have their own credentials, authorizations to access any sort of functionality. And it's an architectural style. There's technologies that can help as well. But I think that's going to be the next frontier in terms of security.
I'm curious, take us through a day in the life. I mean, without getting you in trouble for mentioning companies' names, but take us through that zero trust is a journey. We keep talking about that for a while, but what sort of engagements do you get involved with where someone's where are they starting from when they engage you? Is it a very common starting point, or is it all over the place?
It's all over the place, right? So some of the common ones are compliance.
Okay.
Customers just say, hey, I need to be compliant with PCI, HIPAA, high trust. I don't know what that means. Help us. So one of the things that we do as part of our...
somebody give us the answer.
Oh, Health, Insurance, Privacy, and Portability Act.
Yeah, that's pretty close.
Health.
PCI?
PCI. Payment card. Industry. So
we are desperate times here, folks.
Oh my God.
We haven't even got into the whole kind of European and UK kind
GDPR.
General Data Protection regulation.
It's hard. Okay. But we led him right to the compliance realm. So go ahead, Itari. Sorry, that was where they're starting.
Yeah. So compliance is one, and what we do is to help make their environment so it's almost like the magic button. I don't know what to do to make my environment compliant, make it so. So we do a lot of that. We do a lot of security architecture and engineering, but a lot of what we do is security operations.
Right.
So that's crucial, right? Because you guys have heard stories of companies being compromised. I mean, you can be compromised and not recover from a security incident. So we help with proactive monitoring, threat detection, incident response. We also do threat hunting. You know, we go in there and proactively look and see what's going on, because there are some hackers or some threat actors there that are very sneaky, right? And some of the signals might not be caught. So we actually proactively go in and do some threat hunt sessions as well. So
we call those the low and slow kind of attacks, right? They want to evade detection from your best detection capabilities. Yes. How do you counteract that, though? The low and slow attackers that are trying to not trigger alarms, so not create events and alerts and things.
So that's where the proactive threat hunting comes into play. Because if you just let your tools, they can evade those. But with proactive threat hunting, you're looking at it and saying, this account looks okay, but they've been doing this weird stuff for a long time. Let me investigate a little bit further. And then we incorporate that with threat intelligence as well. We're able to detect new things that are coming up. And so it's a whole gamut of services. Our goal, you're going to be secure, you're going to be compliant. That's what we're about.
And your team, these threat hunters, they have to think like an adversary, right? They have to think of what would I do next to compromise the system or the next vulnerability to exploits.
Exactly, and that's one of the reasons why we're actually investing a lot in artificial intelligence, because a lot of these threat actors are actually using AI to be able to compromise systems a lot more. So in order to be able to catch up with them and beat up with them, we're like using the same technology, right? They've got their bad superhero bad guy, we got the good superhero, right? Trying to help out there. So yeah, it's interesting times. Very interesting.
That's something we see, a lot is in terms of tools that our adversaries are using to scale their operations. So how do they detect a vulnerability faster? How do they exploit that vulnerability, for example, or conduct social engineering attacks or compromises of an identity? And that's sort of the tools that our adversaries can use, but also our security operations teams are using tools to scale their response and their detection. So
I was going to ask you, Itari, we often track this use case. We say, defending from AI-based attacks. What do you see the bad actors specifically doing with AI? I mean, packing malware in different ways, or doing really convincing spear phishing campaigns, or
creating code to be able to crack different ways to be able to attack systems, right? Sometimes they don't know, but when you use AI, it can create all those things for them. We've seen phishing attempts, using AI to create very convincing phishing emails, because it knows, right? It knows all this type of thing. So those are some of the things that we're kind of seeing. And I mean, it's getting serious out there.
I just don't click on anything. Ever. My boss will have to physically come to the office and say, "Hey, Ryan, would you please?" No, I wish I could say that.
The irony of that, it makes you paranoid. I mean, I think another day, a while back, I had a notification from my bank, and first thing I look at is, does it have the HTTPS on it? And if it does, and this was just very weird, and it was a legit
hypertext transport protocol secure.
No, really?
HTTP is not an acronym.
Oh, wait, really?
Well, it is,
hypertext. Okay.
We're going to put this in. We'll let the audience decide. If that's in violation, we'll call that paying it forward.
All right. Cool.
Sorry, but you get an email from the bank. First thing you look for.
Yeah, is it secure? Is it? And funny enough, it was legit, but I had never received something like that before. And so you kind of get a little bit paranoid, it sucks, but sometimes it's better to be safe than sorry,
Oh, for sure. We are naturally paranoid folks in security. I think it's a healthy paranoia.
True.
Right?
That's very true.
Right. So, Itari, what else have you been seeing here around Reinforce? Anything exciting?
It's good. Good to see the vendors that we work with. We work with a lot of vendors, looking at some of their new tools. A lot of them are incorporating AI just like we thought, because AI is a good fit, especially in the security space. I mean, you guys know there's a lot of AI washing. We have an AI-powered toothbrush, and it's like, come on, man. It's. But then,
mean I just bought that? Am I in for a surprise?
Oh no, you lost money, unfortunately. But I like that everyone's incorporating AI in the right way in terms of their tooling. I'm seeing a lot of new technology. I'm seeing a lot of visibility. There was even one I can't remember or I remember, I don't want to mention their name, but they actually had compliance at a glance. So literally you had all the different compliance frameworks and it told you if your environment was in compliance or not automatically. So that was pretty cool. So I like the innovation. You know, it's been very, very interesting. It's very interesting.
Well, as we wind down our time together, I wish we had more time, but Itari, we are formally trained journalists here, and we always ask you a super difficult question. Yours is going to be the same one I've been asking for a while, but what was for breakfast today?
Panera Bread.
Not bad.
It was a steak and egg sandwich from Panera Bread and 2 shots of espresso.
Solid start to the morning, sir. That's how you do it. I like this. Well, Itari from Rackspace, we really appreciate you spending time with us, having this conversation. The comments on the chat have been amazing. Wait till you check those out.
Okay.
Folks, don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with more Security Live.
All right. Awesome.